So this is an orientation about the subject. So today is our lesson 1, again, review of angles and triangles. Our subject is trigonometry. So that's our subject. Do you have any idea of what trigonometry is, guys? What is trigonometry, guys?
About po sa triangles.
By the way, Mark, you will be the one to call your classmates once I ask, So because I don't see your classmates' names, because I am in full screen. So if I ask you, call your classmates in case I ask question, okay?
Sige
So,
pa, sige pa.
so you call a name, Mark. What is trigonometry?
Si Jella po. Angela.
Yung about po sine, cosine.
About sine and cosine. What else?
Ako rin po or tawag po ng iba?
Ika, if you want, you can add more. Sorry. Okay, what about others? So call another name.
Alexa.
Yes, sorry. Trigonometry po is a study of the relationship between the angles and the sides of the triangle.
Okay, yes, no? So trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that with the study of the measurements of parts, of course, together with the relationships, no? Of parts of the triangle, okay? Of their parts. What parts in particular, guys? What parts? We have sides and or edges, no? Sides and angles. And angles. Okay? Yeah, so that's what we mean by trigonometry. Now, using trigonometry, it is possible for us, for instance, to measure the height of a tree. So, let's say I have a tree. Let's say I have a ground here. And so that's our tree. Oh, sorry. We have let's say this, no? Yeah. So let's say we have this tree and I want to know the height of this with a given info. Let's say relative to this point, relative to a point on the ground. So somewhere here. No, so I will have an imaginary line from the top of the tree. So let's say here, no? So let's say I have an imaginary line. Let's see. Yeah, I have an imaginary line from the top going to this point on the ground, forming a right triangle. Let's say I have this on the ground. So assuming level, this one. Okay, that's it, forming a right triangle with the vertical dimension of the tree represented by that white, no, imaginary line. And let's say the height is unknown, we do not know, represented by h. So we don't know that. Yeah. And this tree is approximately, let's say, 18 feet, for instance only, no? 18 feet from this point. And let's say the angle that is formed between the line, imaginary line from this point on the ground to the top of the tree with the horizontal, let's say this angle is 32 degrees. 32 degrees and 15 minutes. Yeah. So using trigonometry, possible to get the height of the tree without going to the top of this tree. Okay. So with those information. So of course we assume that this is 90 degrees. There is another way of defining trigonometry. Trigonometry is not only applicable to those that can form triangles. No? We can also apply trigonometry to those phenomena that are periodic in nature. Yeah. So it also deals also with phenomena that are periodic in nature. Phenomena that are periodic in nature. Repetitive behavior. So there is a repetitive behavior for a situation or for a certain event. If a certain event or situation or phenomenon is periodic in nature or has a periodic pattern, so we can also apply trigonometry. We can describe making use of, for instance, trigonometric functions. Like if I have this pendulum, let's say I have this pendulum. So let's have this pendulum. And of course, there is something circular, no? So let me draw something circle. So this is the bob. So that's the bob. Okay. Now, once you push it, it will what? It will keep on moving repeatedly, no? So the motion can be described by an equation involving trigonometric functions, like for instance, sine or cosine. So we'll have let's say an imaginary position here. So something like this. Yan. So assume it reaches a point like that, no? Yan. Yan. So we have somewhere here, the circle. Yan. So the motion or the movement, again, can be described by an equation involving a trigonometric function, for instance. So rotation of Earth, no, around the sun. So that is repetitive. So the motion can be described. Heartbeat. So heartbeat is also periodic, has a periodic behavior. So unless there is a situation that you feel something, no, there is a sudden change. But normally our heart beats with a certain pattern, no, or behavior. Okay? So again, trigonometry, you can study here triangles together with the measurements of their parts. Study of triangles and the measurement of their parts. And also we can apply trigonometry to those situations or events where you can see repetitive pattern or periodic behavior. Trigonometry comes from two Greek words. Oh, call a name again, Mark. It comes from two Greek words. What words are these? Mark, call names.
Aliyah Mojica po.
Sir, narinig po ba ako?
Yes.
First word po is trigonom,
Yes, trigonon.
which means
Trigonon,
triangle.
trigonon. Okay, very good.
And the
Trigonon.
second one po, wait, do I wait for you to?
Trigonon. Oh. What about this trigonon? It means
It means triangle po.
triangle. Other word?
The second po is metron,
Metron,
which means measure po.
which means
Measure.
specifically, what does it mean?
Measure of
To measure.
to measure.
Metron. I think it's a verb. Metron. If here's metron, so to measure. To measure. And if you use the word metria, we mean measurement. Metria, another word, perhaps. Some books use metria instead of metron. But if you use the word metria, we mean measurement. Measurement. Because of this ruler. I'll keep the ruler. Measurement. Okay? And then if you use the word metrein, we mean it a measure, I think, a measure. Meaning it's a value, a quantity. Okay? So those are the two Greek words where trigonometry can be derived, no? Or was derived. Now, as you see, in the study of trigonometry, sides and angles are important, especially angles. So what is an angle? Mark, call a name.
Ali. AAD. Sorry.
What is angle? What is angle?
Hello. Ailey.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay. What is an angle?
An angle is tilt or slant.
Sorry. It is what?
It's a measurement. Ano bang?
It's a figure, geometric figure. So what is an angle? An angle is a. So how do we form an angle? We need what? First, we
We
need
a tilt or slant.
a vertex. And then after the vertex, we need what? One ray or one line. Okay. And then after this, you're going to move this line, right? To form another line here. And this is called so that's what an angle is geometrically. So another name, Mark. What is an angle? Mark is sleeping now. Mark,
Po.
what is another name?
Andre Liu. Po.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, the angle is defined as the space between two intersecting lines or a surface at close to the point where they meet. So, kumbaga, yan yung space between two lines po.
Okay. So it means it is a union of two rays. And this space that is talking about is the amount of rotation. The union of two rays or lines or sides, union of two rays, sides or lines meeting at a common point, and this common point is called vertex, meeting point called a vertex. Okay. So again, it's a union of two rays radiating from a common point called vertex. Now here we say that theta is the angle. And to indicate the measure of theta, the amount of rotation, so we use this symbol, M, then this symbol, measure of angle theta. So this is measure of theta. Or simply theta. Now in trigonometry, it's not strict. You can simply say the measure is theta. Or simply, simply theta. Rather than M measure of angle theta, you can just also say the measure is theta, which is the same as the name, okay? Angles are classified. One way of classifying angles according to the amount of rotation, meaning size. And this is the size or amount of space in between the lines, kinds of angles.
Tawag po ako.
According to size or amount of rotation. Give me those angles according to amount of rotation.
Ann Camille po.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Acute angles.
acute angle. Number one, acute. Is acute the cutest angle or not? For you, which is the cutest angle? Is it the acute or not? Huh? Which is the cutest among those angles that you know? She doesn't want to answer.
Wait, ako po ba?
Measures what? It measures
Less than 90.
between 0 and iha.
Less than 90 degrees po.
90 degrees. Okay, very good. So this is the angle. So this is an example of an acute angle, no? So the measure is between 0 and 90. Okay, number 2. Another one. Mark.
Ariana Magdalena.
Magdalena. Give me another kind of angles according to size or amount of rotation. Right angle. So this measures between what? Between 90 measures 90 degrees, right? So normally we have two perpendicular lines to represent right angle. So we draw a small square here. So that is a 90-degree angle. What about you, Mark? Give me one.
Obtuse angle po.
Obtuse, yan. What is an obtuse angle?
Measures between 90 and 180 degrees.
Measures between 90 degrees and
180 degrees.
180
80
degrees.
degrees.
Ganda naman ang boses ni Mark. Yun ang my voice is not nice in audio. Medyo parang lamya yung boses ko. Not good. So, this is an example of an obtuse angle. So, we measure it here. Okay? There are other angles. Let's say the angle side remains on the other side, meaning it does not move one of the sides. The two sides coincide. So what angle is formed? In elementary, normally they just have this three, no? Acute, right, obtuse. But as you go to higher level of geometry, you will encounter another amount, no? Mark, what is it? 0?
Ako pa? 0
Because you're not
degree
calling.
angle po.
If you don't call a name, you will be the one to answer. Measures 0 degree, no? What else? You call a name or you answer? You choose between
Audrey. Yoo-hoo.
so that they won't sleep, because others sometimes they are not really listening, no? They are sleeping or doing something, other things. They are just
Audrey.
and waiting for the recordings. Oh, this is a 0-degree angle. Number 5. Oh, whose name was called?
Audrey.
Ako po, sir.
Oh, yes. Oh, give me another one. That are not here. What are those measures that are not here?
Ano po, yung measures exactly 180 degrees.
What is that? What angle is this? Let's say I have a point here. So this is the measure.
Straight angle po.
Straight angle. But of course, to elementary students, they don't know this, no? They don't consider straight line as an angle in their level, no? Because they don't discuss things like this. So measures 180 degrees. No, actually 0-degree, same picture or same drawing with 360-degree angle, but you have to show that it has one complete revolution, I mean rotation. Okay? So one complete rotation is a 360-degree angle. So another angle, we have Mark, what's the other angle? We do not want to call a name. Let's say I have this angle, Mark. Yeah. Normally, we measure the smallest amount that it generates, no? Normally,
Yes,
that's how
po.
we use to measure angle here. But what about if I measure it in the other way around?
If you measure po an
What is that?
angle that is greater than
What is the
180
angle is that?
degrees, it
What
would
angle?
be a reflex angle po.
Reflex angle. Okay, very good. Ang gagaling niyo naman. Measures between, so ibig sabihin, ang galing ng teacher niyo ng Gen Math. No? Kanino nga uli kayo ng Gen Math?
Kay Sir Edward po.
Di lang, he's a tall guy. Perhaps 5'11", something like that. Or 5'12". 5'12" is 6 feet. Or 5.
Seryoso po?
He's a tall guy. Sir Concepcion, Roy Concepcion. Okay, so that's a reflex angle. Now, I saw in a Facebook asking for kinds of angles. You know, a child answered not geometrically, no? He answered according perhaps to what he heard or experienced. No, he had Bermuda Triangle, Love Triangle, Ayala Triangle. If I were the teacher, I could consider his answers because the instruction or the question is not really clear. Just kinds of, I mean triangles pala, that's about triangles. So kinds of triangles. I saw Love Triangle, Bermuda, something like that, the kinds of triangles. The student was able to think of that. So it means he's somebody, at least application. Another way of classifying triangles as to what? I mean angles as to, meron pa ba? As to relationships. So, angle relationships. Angle relationships. Let's say you're given two angles, 30 degrees and 60 degrees. Oh, what can you say about that, guys? Oh, Mark, if you do not want to call, you will be the one to answer.
Calvin po.
Number one, we have
Calvin, yoo-hoo!
Oh, Alvin,
Wait a second.
we have
Wait lang po, sir.
how many minutes do I have to wait? I still don't the answer.
Is it complementary
Complementary angles.
and supplementary?
Complementary angles. What else?
Supplementary angle.
Supplementary angles. Supplementary. What else? Supplementary sum is what? Sum is
180 degrees.
80 degrees. For complementary, 180.
90.
Complementary, 90. What about if 360?
Camille Chambing po.
Two angles, whose sum is 90. The sum is 90 degrees. Who's going to answer?
Camille Chambing po. Yoo-hoo!
Chamil. Chamil? 35
Camille po.
and Camille. And 55. Is it 90? 35 plus 55? Right, no?
Yes
So
po. Right angle po.
if I have geometrically this figure, and let's say it is 90, so we divide into two. One is 35, and then the other one is, yan. So let's say this is 35 degrees. Then the other one is 55. 55. So this angle, 55, for instance. This angle is 35. Yan. Oh, Camille. Where's Camille?
Hello po.
Oh, yes. Two angles whose sum is 360. What is that?
Sir, isn't supplementary 180 po?
180, but I want it 360. Not done with the Googling yet. So we have 120 degrees and 60 degrees supplementary. Oh, Camille, what about sum is 360?
Conjugate.
Conjugate, okay? So we have conjugate angle. So this is 60 degrees, and this is 180 degrees. I want 20. Okay. So again, number 3, we have conjugate. What is the other term for conjugate? Mark. What's the other term?
Cassandra po.
You don't want to answer?
I'm not familiar po eh. Sorry.
So these are two angles whose sum is 360 degrees. What's that? Cassandra? Did you call Cassandra?
Yes po.
Yes. What's the other term for that?
Explementary angles po.
Yes, explementary. So she was able to Google it fast. Did you Google it? Honestly?
Yes po.
Explementary. Yan. That is what is nice in online. No? Explanatory angle. There's not so much difference between homework and quiz. So examples, of course, we have 200 degrees and 160 degrees, right? So if I have 160, so how large is 160? Almost 180, no? Almost 180. If this is the one of the rays or side of the angle, 160 is this. So this is 160. That's 160. So this is 200 degrees. Okay, guys? Are they clear now, guys?
Yes po.
In your GenMat, did your teacher write like this or purely PowerPoint? This is also PowerPoint, huh? But what I am doing is I'm writing on the spot.
Mostly po, he did the equations lang po. Solve sa
Actually,
whenever he writes po.
my lecture about this, my Microsoft copy docu, it's in school. I was not able to get. So I have to write, and I do not want to type because if I'm going to type, it will take much time. So instead, I write like this. So I'm using a pen tablet gadget. So if you will have a chance to have one, better, so that if you want to solve, you can use or you can write directly. Now, what about triangle? Corresponding to angles are triangles, no? Triangles. What is a triangle? Or Mark, if you do not want to answer, you call a friend.
Si Charlie's po.
Charlie's. What's the
Charlie Bedo.
Charles?
Charlie.
Hello po, sir.
Charlie, okay. Charlie. What is a triangle?
Sir, it is a three-sided polygon po.
So it is a polygon with three sides. Very good. It is a three-sided. It is a three-sided polygon. A three-sided polygon. By the way, were I able to record? Let me see.
Yes, it's recording po.
Okay. Yan. Now, so here are examples of triangles. Yeah. So we have this triangle. I can have this triangle. Or I can have this triangle. Yeah, let's say this triangle. So these are just some of possible triangles, no? What do you see common to these triangles? Mark.
Clarence
Main
Misiano.
parts, main or primary parts.
Clarence. Yoo-hoo.
Primary parts of a triangle. You know, guys, what you do to have family bonding, you invite members of the family to listen so that at least you pay for one, but will benefit the members of the family. All will be able to take free trigonometry. Okay? So you ask your mom and dad to join you so that at least they will able to recall this. If you have young siblings, they can teach them, no? What are the main parts of a triangle? There are how many? There are actually three. Main parts. Mark. So the one whom you called doesn't want to answer. Or you
Are you
answer.
referring po to the sides?
So I don't know. What do you think? Main or primary parts? So those that you can see common to all of them, to any triangle. Every triangle has these parts.
Kasi po, it's either the sides, vertices, and angles,
So you
or base, the leg, and the hypotenuse.
no, hypotenuse is a side. So three vertices.
Ah,
And if you
three
connect any
vertices
two
po.
vertices, you will form a side. And there are three sides that you can form, or edges. And if you have two edges in between, so you will form what we call three angles. No?
Angles po.
Three angles are formed. So that because there are three possible combinations that you can have for the sides. No? So these are the primary parts. If there are primary parts, there are secondary. They are not directly in the triangle, but you can associate this in every triangle. So we have secondary parts. They are accessories, like accessories. Secondary parts. What are secondary parts of a triangle?
Francesca po. Jessica.
Or Jessica? What was the highest grade you received in the class in Gen Math?
Ako po ba?
Check ko lang po.
What do you think? Because in my Gen Math last
What was the question po?
Secondary course, one got 99.48 or 49. The mic, I think, it has a technical problem. The secondary parts of a triangle. What's the name of your classmate you called, Mark?
Angle bisector po.
Jessica. Yes?
Angle bisector.
Angle bisector. This is one. Angle bisector. What does it do in a triangle? So this is actually a line, what? Dividing an angle of a triangle into how many parts? Into two equal parts, na? So let's say this is the angle. Yeah, this is the line. If this angle, let's say, is split into two equal angles, then so this is an angle bisector, no? An angle bisector. Okay? Yan. It divides any angle of a triangle into two congruent angles. Next, what about number two? Cheska.
Gaya. Ay, sorry
Sige.
po.
Who?
Gaya and Tico po.
Hello po. Yung median po.
Median. Until what time tayo? 3:30 to 2:30 to 4?
4 o'clock po, yes.
Okay. Angle bisector. What else? Sorry?
Median po.
Median. I am expecting for the next mean, then mode, no? Are there mode or mean? What do you think? Is there a mode or mean for the secondary parts? So median is a line segment from one vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. So meaning this side is divided into two congruent segments. So that's a median. And then, is this your last class, guys?
Yes po.
Okay. So we can extend at least so that we're done with the up to kinds of triangles. Number 3, we have altitude. It is important in getting the area, no? Altitude. And altitude. An altitude is a line segment from one vertex of a triangle perpendicular to the opposite side. So a line segment from one vertex perpendicular to the opposite side. So giving the height, no, of the triangle. Very important in dealing with area, no, of a triangle. Number 4, we have, Mark, what's number 4? You answer number 4, Mark.
Perpendicular bisector po.
Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular
Bisector po.
So what is a perpendicular bisector?
It is a line po where the points are equidistant or equal distance from the endpoints po ng isang side.
Let's say this is the triangle. Which one is equidistant? So perpendicular bisector is a line dividing a side of a triangle into two equal parts, forming a right triangle with that side, no? Meaning dividing perpendicularly the side, no? Dividing into two equal parts. So it is a line perpendicular to the side, dividing it into two equal parts or segments. Okay? What about kinds of triangles? Kinds of triangles. First, according to kinds of triangles, according to sides. Mark, you answer. According to sides.
Equilateral po.
Equilateral. Ang layo agad. Okay, number 1, equilateral. What is an equilateral?
A triangle po whose sides are all of equal length.
Equilateral triangle is a triangle
with all sides po of equal length. Sir, nandyan pa ba po kayo?
Crush ata lang.
Nax?
Wow,
Siya
Shine host.
yan, host.
Wow, siya. Wait, Mati, dapat sinamo, sir. Yuhu.
Yes, do you hear me, guys? Sorry,
Yes,
Yes
po.
po.
run out of battery. I wasn't able to plug it. Okay, we'll end here. We'll continue next meeting. By the way, may I request you to, before you leave, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that in the future, because I'm trying to upload many videos so that it will help the students, free videos. So in order for me to do that, I must be able to be equipped with gadgets that I need so that it will help me in the future. Could you please subscribe? Usano-Goldie. Yeah.
Yes po, I sent a link na po to RGC.
Okay, so Usano, right now, if it's possible, Usano-Goldie Usano. Please, could you please join? Subscribe, Usano-Goldie. You find this link, Goldie RL Marquez. Okay, right now, could you please, before you leave, guys,
Yes
I'll be
po.
checking. Okay, thank you.
Sir, question po.
Yes,
Are you gonna send us
yes,
po the
yes,
recordings ng meetings?
yes.
How
I will
po?
wait for the email, and then I will be posting the link and the password in our Canvas discussion. It will be in the Canvas discussion.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Okay.